Hello YouTube, this is the Fashionista Professor. Welcome to my channel. Today I had the opportunity to have a sit down with Dr. Leverett. She is the Montgomery County Commissioner, and so I happened to see her in the parking lot of my university as I was coming into university to lecture. And we chatted, and I invited her for an impromptu interview and to speak to my class, and she accepted. So here is the vlog of the interview and the after photo shoot. We had a ball. So come join me as we watch the interview and the fashion shoot afterwards. Thank you. Okay, so I'm here with the commissioner for Clarksville. Montgomery County. So you go ahead and tell us a little bit about what you do.
Well, hello to the audience of the Fashionista Professor, the beautiful and lovely Dr. Magruder. My name is Dr Leverett, and I'm a county commissioner here in Clarksville, Montgomery County, Tennessee. I was elected in August of 2019.
Ooh.
And so you may wonder, what does a commissioner do? Well, I'll tell you what a commissioner does. We manage the budget of the county. So we're responsible for any legislative agendas. For example, current legislation, we're trying to pass current legislation to get internet access in rural communities. Most people think of Clarksville, Montgomery County as a city, and we are a growing city. We're the 5th largest city in Tennessee. However, we still have constituents that live out in the rural areas who don't have access to internet, who don't have access to broadband, and that limits their access to education. It limits their access to health care. It limits their access to their families. And so we're trying to push that legislation right now. I think we'll get it done, but we're just hoping that we can get it done as soon as possible so that we can have more students in Dr. Magruder's class.
So that'll be very good. So how do you guys propose to do that? So currently, don't they have any internet at all, or can they get onto any wireless? How do you propose to bring internet to them?
Most of the constituents are now using public libraries,
okay,
or they use public universities, or they may go to a friend's house, or they'll share in the access. A lot of times the problem is there are no towers and there are no towers, lines that have been built out in the rural areas that allow the constituents to get access. Whereas those of us here in the city, we can pull up our phone and jump on Wi-Fi at any time. We can pick up a hotspot downtown. We can pick up a hotspot here in Austin Peay campus. But our rural customers don't have that type of access. So, and because there's no lines and there's a lot of companies that don't service those rural areas, now we have to take this to the Senate floor. And with some of our Senate partners that we have in the legislation, we have made that part of our agenda for 2019-2020. Wow. So we have some of our legislators currently right now working in Capitol Hill in Nashville to make sure we get rural get broadband access to everyone, because we think at this point in 2019-2020, if you don't have access to internet, it limits all your capabilities.
And that's a very good point.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Rashida.
Thank you.
And we're going to continue with this a little bit later in my office.
Thank you so much for having me, and please make sure you subscribe. Get your friends to subscribe to the Fashionista Professor. You want to know this amazing woman right here. Thank you all.
YouTube, good morning. So with me today on the Fashionista Professor channel is Montgomery County Commissioner, Dr. Rashida Leverett. I invited her to my channel to talk a little bit about what a county commissioner does. So without further ado, we're gonna have Dr. Rashida Leverett talk about what a county commissioner does. So, Dr. Rashida Leverett, tell us a little bit about what the county commissioner does.
Well, hello, Fashionista Professor audience. I love that name. Again, my name is Dr. Rashida Leverett, and I am a county commissioner in Montgomery County, Tennessee. Now, what a county commissioner does is we're the legislative body for this county. What that means is that every decision that we make is in direct alignment with Tennessee state law. Our primary responsibility is funding part of the entities within the county. For example, the school system. 80% of our responsibility is funding the school system, and 80% of our budget is for schools, building new schools and funding new schools and making sure that they operate. The other 20% goes to things like the public libraries, the county clerk's office, archives office, trustees office, veteran service organizations, building and codes. And so we have all of these opportunities in county government. I was recently elected in August of 2019, so I'm still a freshman commissioner, but there's so much to learn. But I am so happy about this opportunity to share with you all about the inner workings, or some of the inner workings, of local government. And so I'm very happy that the Fashionista Professor invited me here to give you all some insight on county government.
Okay, so that was very good. Thank you very much. And so another question I have is, what advice would you give anyone that is interested in politics? And so I had you at my class, one of my classes today, and the students seemed not interested in politics. So what advice would you give anyone that's interested in politics?
Oh, I love this question. I always encourage people to know what's going on locally. A lot of people understand what's going on at the federal government. For example, we know who the president is. We know who the senators are. And we know congressmen. But do you know who your state representative is? Do you know who your city council member is? Do you know who your county commissioner is? And so I would start there in learning, what do my local representatives do for me? And how am I represented in the city, in the county? Then from there, if you find that this is a position that you are interested in, go down to your local election office, file that paperwork, and run for office. I was in higher education. I was a director of education for a community college when I decided to run for county commissioner. I had no experience in politics. I just wanted to serve my community. So if you have a heart to serve your community and you want to be able to make decisions that impact your neighbors and the people around you, I highly encourage you to run for local office, because local office is where your livelihood is sustained and maintained. So please do it.
That was very good. Thank you very much to Dr. Leverett. And so that is a wrap. Thank you for joining us on the Fashionista Professor channel. And don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and turn on the notifications. Thank you.
take a couple. Gosh, there it goes. There it goes.
And then turn and do
Okay.
the shades, yeah.
The glasses?
You gotta ask.
Okay, then let me. Glasses?
Okay.
Get it. Do it. I don't mind.
Okay.